Hey YouTubies, how's it going? Okay, got another mental health update for you. This time, story about Vikkis. Okay, long story short, in case you guys haven't seen the previous mental health update when I told a little bit about him, this is going to be the full story. It's taken me a year to be able to even talk about this. So this is really hard for me. So please bear with. Hang on here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Oh my God, this is hard to talk about. Okay. Over a year ago, might be about a year and a half ago, something like that, I met this guy online when I was playing a video game named Legends of Aria. I'm a gamer girl, okay? I like playing video games like World of Warcraft, Ultima Online, Legends of Aria, Shroud of the Avatar, you know, all kinds of games like that. I'm a gamer girl. Anthony and his brother got me started on gaming, oh gosh, 25 years ago? Been that long? Didn't realize it'd been that long. But yeah, 25 years ago. Wow, I feel old now. My very first game that I ever played online was Ultima Online. Oh my God, I had so much fun on that game. My character, I'll just get into a short bit of this before I get into the story about Vikkis. Give me a second here to fix this. I'm trying to balance the camera a little better. My tripod is a piece of crap. No thanks, Anthony. He's the one that bought it for me, but yeah. He had good intentions. But yeah, Ultima Online was my very first game that I ever played. That's how I got started in all that. Well, I'd say about a year and a half ago, I think. It might have been longer. I really don't for sure, without looking back on the dates, is when I met Vikkis. That's not his real name, of course. That's his game name. Online. In a game. We hit it off great at first. Became really good friends. You know, really fast. Because I like making friends online and stuff. Sorry, my hair's like bugging me. Like partly it's because I'm nervous about this and I just something to twirl. Let's twirl this. Him and I started talking, and a couple months later, his wife had left him and divorced him. Filed for divorce. And with most of my friends, well, pretty much everybody, I guess, I try to be a good listener. So even with Vikkis, he was having, you know, issues because of his wife leaving him. He was feeling sad and depressed and everything, and so I was a good listener. And we were just friends at that time. I was not planning on anything going any further than that because I love Anthony. You know, he is a butthead sometimes. I love Anthony. I don't know what I'd do without my butthead, to be honest. Even though we have had our issues over the years, we are actually learning and growing as a couple together. So it's had its ups and downs, but we're learning. Well, because I was such a good listener, Vikkis and I started talking on voice chat. It went from just talking on text and game to eventually talking on voice chat in Discord. And again, just as friends, of just being a good listener, like I do with anybody that I know. I try to be a good listener. He started taking advantage of that. I think because I'm so nice, people like to try to take advantage of me. People have done that to me all my life and tried to walk on me because I'm nice. But I am finally, after all these years, finally learning to put my foot down. In this case, it took me a while because I liked him and I really liked him, and yeah, just lost my train of thought. I heard there's a jet from the military base going over or something. I don't know what they're doing, but it caused me to lose my train of thought. But yeah, he took advantage of me. So we started talking every day on voice chat at that point. Well, at that time, I was learning about narcissism also around that same time frame. I'd heard about narcissism for a couple years prior. I thought, oh, that doesn't apply to me. I don't need to learn anything about narcissism. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I knew it did apply to me because of how Dad is. Dad is a narcissist. A Christian narcissist at that. That's a whole different story there. For a different day. But and I think Anthony is a little bit narcissistic as well. I think we all are, to be honest. I mean, I'm still learning about narcissism, so please don't beat me up. I have so much yet to learn on a lot of things. But this is around the time I was learning about narcissism. Well, around that same time, while talking on voice chat with Vikkis at times, Anthony would get snappy with me and cranky and fuss at me. And he even yelled at me a couple times while in the store, which, thanks to which was embarrassing, it made me really mad. But thanks to the help of my therapist, over time I have learned to use my I statements and be able to speak up to Anthony and let him know that, hey, I really didn't appreciate how you talked to me, this way or that way, and made me feel this way or that way. Could you please not do that again? Things like that. So, thanks to my therapist, it's actually opened up communication between Anthony and I. We still have our issues. He doesn't do that anymore because we've gone over that bridge. What caused him to be snappy and cranky, I found out because of starting to communicate with him more, was that he was in pain a lot of times. He has chest pains, and back then he was having what he thought was kidney pains, but the doctors now say that it's not kidney pain. It's in the kidney region. They didn't start telling him that it's not kidney pain until just recently. So anyway, the point is, he was in pain, getting cranky and snappy, and not meaning to take it out on me, but he was. Until I was able to use my I statements and convey to him what he was doing and how it made me feel. So we're working on things. But so Anthony was at that time getting snappy with me while I was on voice chat with Vikkis. Vikkis heard that many times and started to try to, since he was single, started to try to lure me away from Anthony to get me to move from Missouri to California. He tried as hard as he actually would bug me about it every single day. I'm not even kidding about that. Not even missing a day. He would actually bug me about trying to get me to move to California every single day. And like I said at the beginning, he was just a friend. But after talking to him more, and then things progressed, and we started talking on video chat while playing the games that we played, it slowly formed into a relationship, kind of, sort of. At the same time, I didn't want it to be a relationship because I wanted to be with Anthony. When somebody's hounding you every single day, you know, it affects your brain. Seriously. But yeah, he would bug me about moving there every single freaking day. Multiple times a day sometimes. About moving to California, that I could have a fresh life there, I could have a fresh start on life. He'd show me the world. Basically, you know, in the area that he lives, we could travel, we'd go to Japan, because that's where he's half Japanese, so that's where part of his family is at. You know, all these things, as well as he has a little boy, which at that time was 4 years old. His name was Gabriel, and his little boy, he liked to, he'd have his little boy every other weekend. Wait, no, he had his little boy on, yeah, every other weekend. Has a little boy in every other weekend. Hi, my pretty girl. Oh my God. She just farted. But I picked her up. I think I startled her. Get away. Get away. She's sitting here like, ah, you stinky. Take your gassy butt away. Thank you. Gabriel. He had a little boy named Gabriel. It was at that time 4 years old. And oh my gosh, he was so adorable. He had him every other weekend, and Gabriel actually started, Gabriel started, hang on here. I'm a little nervous, so this is hard to talk about. Gabriel started on video chat talking to me as well, to try to, you know, play my violin strings and get me convinced to move there. Since I don't have kids, and that way I'd have the opportunity to have a child, sort of, even if it was a stepchild. And because of his constant persistence of talking to me to try to get me to go there every single day, as well as, you know, having Gabriel talk to me and all these kinds of things, I didn't mean to, but I started having feelings for him. Feelings that I shouldn't have, but it, yeah. So he was constantly trying to pull me away. In the back of my mind, I couldn't do it. I couldn't go. But I even actually, you know, I kept stalling. I think he knew I was stalling. Part of me was stalling, and part of me wasn't stalling. I had a fear of going, because this is my home. This is my family. I would have to leave my entire everything. My parents, Anthony, my home, my pets, you know, because he wasn't going to allow my cats. You know, I would have had to leave everything behind. I couldn't do that. Well, it finally got to the point where he got me talked into it. So I set a date. The date that I was going to leave was June 23rd of last year. Oh yeah, I guess him and I had talked for, him and I had talked for a year and a half prior to this whole year. Oh wow, time has been flying fast. Wow. So it's been 3.5 years, I think. 3.5 years since I'd first met him online. And then a year since he... Wait, no. Yeah, because it's been a year since I've talked to him. Okay, yeah. Got myself confused there. I gotta watch for the door so my parents don't come home. But, it's persistent nagging at me to do this. Finally got me to set a date that I would leave on June 23rd of last year. I had with chronic fatigue, it took forever for me to pack my things in a couple of duffel bags, unknown to Anthony, of course. He still doesn't know. I need to actually talk to him about that because he needs to know about all this. It's hard. But, he knows some, but he doesn't know the full story. He needs to know the full story. Vikkis and I was playing Valheim, a game called Valheim, daily, on voice chat and video chat. And even though I set my date as June 23rd to leave, I was still wavering on things because it's hard if you expected to just up and leave your entire everything. But I did set it for June 23rd. Well, before I even got to June 23rd. Yep, hang on, pause. Okay, I'm back. My parents just got home, so I had to get my hair so I can have a little privacy, so to speak. But, so I had my date set for June 23rd to leave. But before I even got to that date, I had started noticing little changes in his attitude. It's like he was a total different person. And I even brought it up. I asked him if there's, because we always talking about if we have issues, to talk to each other about it. So that's what I did. I had an issue because I was wondering if something was wrong between us, but he wasn't saying anything. So I brought it up. He's like, no, there's nothing wrong. It's your imagination. You're being paranoid. Basically gaslighting me. Well, things went on and other things had happened. And before I got to the June 23rd date to leave, I had my bags all packed and everything, and without Anthony's knowing, I was ready to get a taxi from here and get a ride on a Greyhound bus to California to live with him, to be with him. God, I'm so glad I didn't. But, what was I going to say? Oh, around that time, just before I actually got to the deadline date that I was actually going to leave, he started changing more and more and more. And then it hit me. And I realized he was a covert narcissist. I'm not trying to say everybody I know is a narcissist, but he was a covert narcissist. I started putting the pieces together of all our times together and how he had talked to me and how he talked about his exes and you know, all these things, that the empty promises, all that kind of stuff. You know the drill. How narcissists, yeah, you know the drill. So I put the pieces together and realized that he was a covert narcissist, and ended things right then and there, and I've not talked to him since then. Well, I told him I couldn't leave my family and everything here behind, and I can't do it. And it made him mad, and we've not talked to each other since then. I couldn't do it. I couldn't give up it. My family, my parents. I'm an only child. And even though my dad is a narcissist and my parents drive me nuts sometimes, and Anthony does too, I couldn't leave them. This is my world. For one thing, I'm a small town gal, and he lived in a big city. But I just couldn't leave my entire family without, you want me to leave them without saying a word. Not even a note. And it's like, no, I can't do that. And leave my pets? I couldn't. So, there was a little hummingbird that landed on the, there's like a little thingy over there. I don't know what it is. Oh, it goes to the wash and dryer. He landed on that. I think it was a hummingbird. It was small. I couldn't see it through all the railings of the porch. That's him singing right now, or fussing at me. I wonder if it's a Jenny Wren. She might have a nest in there. I wonder. I'll be done in a minute. Give me a minute. I'll have to check in a minute and see if she's got a nest in there. Because they are tiny. Hold that thought for a second. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is, I think, a vent to our washer and dryer, or dryer. And that's, hang on here, I'll get my hand around here. That's a twig sticking out, and there's grass or something on the other side. So yeah, I think she's got a little nest in there. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, now I'm wondering if I'm debating whether to tell my parents about it. Because if I do, Dad will be wanting to rip the nest apart and get her out of there. Same time, I don't know if that's a good place for her to have a nest. Or it might be a hummingbird nest, I'm not sure. Either a hummingbird or a Jenny Wren. I couldn't see the bird real well, because it was tiny though, about the size of the hummingbird. I don't know for sure how big or little Jenny Wrens are. It might be a hummingbird nest. Because we've had in our, you can see over there, hummingbird feeders, we've had lots of hummingbirds lately. So, alright, anywho, that is the story on Vikkis and my not going to California to be with him like he wanted, and staying here with Anthony and my family, where I belong. He tried to say that he could give me the world, and yeah, I wouldn't have to worry about financial anything anymore and all this kind of stuff. I wouldn't have any hard times anymore. At this point, I'm okay with hard times, even if they do suck, because you learn from the lessons. So, at this point, I'm like, life, bring it. And I just did not need to be jumping from one relationship to another, you know? So, oh, and the worst part, well, one of the worst parts is the worst April Fool's joke I have ever had pulled on me. He pulled a April Fool's joke on me and tried to, well, he didn't try, he actually did have me convinced that as an April Fool's joke, he told me that North Korea had attacked Alaska, or sent nukes to Alaska and Hawaii. I believed it. You know, granted, if there was an actual incident like that, there have been stuff on the news, stuff popping up on my phone, you know, alerts. There have been alarms going off, presidential BS on TV and all this kind of stuff. But I didn't think or realize all that at that time because I thought it was, you know, something real. I didn't realize it was April Fool's joke. I didn't think that was a very funny joke. So that was a pretty sick joke, and it actually physically made me sick. As soon as he told me about it, I actually had to run to the bathroom and throw up because I thought it was real. So crap like that. That's just, so glad I didn't go. So anywho, I'll catch you guys again later. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. When I get a chance, I'll tell you about my crazy cyber stalker that is still out there. My hair, what's up with my hair? Like I got a halo out there or something. So, alright, bye-bye, guys. Hey, guys. Okay. On my video, I forgot to add one last part that was a key component. So I figured I'd come back on here and tell it. I was going to type it in a text where you guys can read it, but I figured I'd just come back on here and verbally say it. With the guy in California, Vikkis, one creepy thing that he told me multiple times actually was that when he was younger, the main reason he joined the army, excuse me, and this is back during Desert Storm, I think it was back then, Desert something. The main reason he joined the army was so he could know what it felt like to kill people. I found that highly disturbing. So that was another reason I am no longer friends with him. So, because I don't know if guys and gals that join the army and military now, if that's their reasons, but he is the first person I've ever heard to actually tell me that that was the reason, the main reason he joined the military. So you know what it felt like to kill people. Like, okay. So, anywho, if you're new to our channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and